You know that feeling? That first real blast of heat. The air just changes somehow. That feeling like you're, I don't know, on the verge of something. Maybe vacation, maybe just slowing down a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Summer arrives.
Welcome to the deep dive. We looked at the material you shared with us, that episode from English Basic Podcast, all about summer.
Right.
And we've gone through it, pulled out what we thought were the really interesting parts for you.
Exactly. We're not just, going over the absolute basics again. We're looking at how this season, summer, is talked about in English.
The little nuances in words.
Yeah, the vocabulary, and maybe even some, slightly surprising angles on what seems like a really straightforward topic.
And the source material covered quite a bit, didn't it?
Oh, yeah. Weather, changes to routines, clothes, the general mood, specific words and phrases, activities, obviously, food.
Even how it looks around the world.
Exactly. Global perspectives, too.
So our mission here, really, is to get you quickly up to speed on the common English stuff related to summer, but maybe with a few interesting facts, some relatable examples.
The idea is to help you understand and, talk about summer more effectively, maybe even more naturally in English.
Okay, so where did the English Basic Podcast kick things off with summer?
Well, they started right at the core, the definition, which is, essential.
Right.
Summer, one of the 4 seasons. And importantly, they noted the hemisphere difference straight away.
Ah, yeah. So for a lot of the northern hemisphere, like the US, Europe, India, China, it's generally June, July, August.
Typically.
Which is a good point. When we say summer, we're often thinking of our summer. It's not the same time everywhere.
Exactly. Because down in the southern hemisphere, places like Australia, South Africa, their summer is happening when it's winter up north.
December to February, right?
Right. So our language about seasons is really tied to where we are geographically.
Makes sense.
And then the podcast introduced some foundational vocabulary.
At the base.
Yeah. Words like hot and sunny, obvious starting points, but also terms with a bit more texture, like heat wave.
Which isn't just one hot day, is it? It's like sustained heat.
Right, often with specific weather criteria.
Yeah.
And then just the simple word, sunshine.
Yeah.
Very evocative.
And it wasn't just weather words, was it? Summer changes how we live, too.
Definitely. The word vacation came up.
Yeah.
That's huge for many people. That idea of time off, travel, a break.
The anticipation.
Yeah. And then the practical things like ice cream for cooling down and the air conditioner. Almost a necessity in some places.
True. What I liked was how they immediately tried to get the listener involved.
Oh, you mean the question?
Yeah, asking, can you say a sentence using the word sunny?
Right. Prompting you to actually use the word, not just hear it.
Exactly. It gets you thinking actively. And their example was pretty good.
It's always sunny in July, and I love going to the beach.
So relatable for many people, Connects the weather, sunny, with a classic summer activity, the beach.
Which leads nicely into the next part, actually. The activities. What did they list? Well, going to the beach was top, naturally. And then the social side, having a barbecue. That whole outdoor cooking thing.
Ah, yes, BBQs. And with the longer days, people get outside more, right?
For sure. Playing sports outside.
Yeah.
Whether it's just casual in the park or something more organized, outdoor activity is big.
And traveling or going on vacation,
Yeah.
getting away.
Yeah, escaping the routine. Could be local, could be further afield.
Or sometimes just escaping the heat. They mentioned watching movies in air-conditioned theaters.
Ah, yes. A classic summer refuge.
And what about food for all of this?
Well, they highlighted those classic cool treats. Watermelon and ice cream. Super refreshing.
Can't beat watermelon on a hot day.
Right. And this led into their story time bit, a personal story about a beach trip.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It was a good way to make the words stick.
I thought so too. The picture they painted walking on the sand, drinking coconut water.
Watching the sunrise.
Yeah, really put you there. But then comes the cautionary tale.
The sunburn.
Exactly. Forgetting the sunscreen. It's such a common summer mistake.
Painfully common sometimes. It makes the point about sun safety really clearly, doesn't it?
It does. A practical tip hidden in the story. And then following that, they offered some other ways to say it's really hot.
Instead of just very hot.
Yeah. More vivid words like scorching or boiling or burning up. They all sound intense.
Right. Each one feels slightly different. And the example they gave.
It was boiling last week. I stayed indoors all day.
Yeah, that really captures that feeling, doesn't it? When the heat just traps you inside.
Absolutely. Then they sort of shifted focus a bit to summer fashion and food.
What we wear, what we eat.
Pretty much.
Sure.
Summer clothes, practical, cool shorts, t-shirts.
Sunglasses. Essential.
Oh, definitely. Flip-flops. And a hat or cap for, sun protection.
Comfort first, basically, and food.
Still focusing on light and refreshing things. Ice cream, again, lemonade, watermelon.
Watermelon's getting a lot of mentions.
That's pretty iconic. Also cold salads and smoothies, lighter options for meals.
Makes sense. And they had another interactive bit here, didn't they?
Uh-huh. The question for you, what do you love to eat in summer? Again, getting you to think in English?
Personalizing it.
Exactly. And their sample answer was, in summer, I love eating mangoes. They are sweet and juicy.
Ah, nice. Mangoes. And these adjectives there.
Which leads right into their pro tip. Try using describing words for food.
Like sweet, cold, refreshing.
Juicy. It's about making your English richer than just naming the food.
Good tip. Okay, so after clothes and food, where do they go?
They broadened out again, looked at the bigger summer picture, weather patterns, nature.
So typical summer weather, generally hot and dry in many places.
Yeah, though they did point out that in tropical areas you can still get quite a bit of rain.
Right, not universally dry. And nature.
It's a time of peak growth, trees full of leaves, flowers blooming, animals are active, very vibrant.
But there's always a but, isn't there?
Yeah. They also mentioned the intensity. Sometimes it just gets too hot.
Right. So people might stay indoors during the afternoon, avoid that peak heat.
Shows it's not all sunshine and roses, so to speak. There are challenges too.
And then a quick quiz?
A mini quiz, yeah. Just to check the weather vocabulary. 3 sentences. Which one fits summer?
Let me guess. It's freezing and snowing.
Nope.
It's windy and cold.
Uh-huh.
Has to be. It's sunny and warm. Number 2.
Bingo. Simple check, but effective.
Okay, and then they went global.
Yeah, a quick global tour, showing how summer plays out differently, like in India.
Very hot, right. So they focus on cooling things like buttermilk and wearing light cotton clothes.
Exactly. Then jump to the USA. Summer means travel for many. 4th of July fireworks, lots of grilled food, cultural touchstones.
And Japan.
Beautiful fireworks festivals. Hanabi, they're called. A big summer thing there.
Wow. And Italy.
Italy. Gelato, of course. And relaxing by the coast. Sounds pretty good.
Mm-hmm. It really drives home that point, doesn't it? Summer is one word, but the experience varies so much.
Totally. They wrap that bit up saying each country has its unique way of enjoying summer. Isn't that amazing? Fosters that global perspective.
And then another activity prompt for the listener.
Yeah. Think about your country. What happens in summer? Try to say it in English. Making it personal again. Applying the language.
Good practice.
Well,
so to help with that, did they offer some specific phrases?
they did. A list of essential summer phrases. Things you'd actually hear people say.
Like what? Give me a couple.
Okay, how about, I'm sweating like crazy. Very common feeling.
Oh, I definitely heard that one.
Or used it.
Or the invitation. Let's hit the beach. Classic.
Yep. What else?
Expressing discomfort. This heat is unbearable.
When it really gets bad.
Mm-hmm. And the simple need for refreshment. Time for some cold drinks. Always a good idea. And that feeling many people have. I can't wait for my summer vacation.
Universal. And they suggested actually practicing saying these. Yeah. Repeat them. Get used to the sound and rhythm. Makes them easier to use.
Smart. So how did the original podcast wrap things up?
Well, the host made a nice connection between learning English and summer itself.
Oh, how so?
Described learning English as a journey full of energy, light, and discovery. Kind of like summer.
That's a lovely way to put it. Positive framing.
Yeah. And they shared a motivational quote, too. Every new word you learn is like sunshine in your mind. Keep shining.
Nice. Encouraging continuous learning.
Then the usual thanks to the listener and a little teaser for the next episode of their show.
Which was about?
Rainy days. How to talk about them in English. Keeps people coming back.
Creates that continuity.
Then the sign-off.
Friendly and fitting. Until then, stay cool, stay curious, and keep speaking English. Goodbye.
Stay cool. Perfect for a summer episode. So, wrapping up our own deep dive into this material, it's really interesting how much you can unpack from just talking about summer in English. It really is. It touches on weather, culture, activities, feelings, even basic things like clothing and food. It shows how language reflects life.
Absolutely. So we hope this is giving you some richer insights into how summer is discussed beyond just the dictionary definitions.
Yeah. And maybe a final thought to leave you with.
Oh, go on.
Well, with all the talk about changing climates and weather patterns around the world,
Right.
how might the way we talk about summer in English start to change? Will we need new words, new phrases to describe maybe different kinds of summer experiences in the future?
That's interesting how language might have to adapt as the season itself potentially changes. Something to think about.
Definitely something to keep an ear out for.